We've had Robert O'Brien and Mike Pompeo on many times to discuss the challenges of negotiating for the release of hostages. It's complicated with no easy solutions. 4 Americans are home. 16 political prisoners jailed in Russia were released for 8 Russians held by other countries. So how do you negotiate when you're dealing with people's lives? Joining us is former State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortagus. Welcome, Morgan. Innocent Americans are home. Russian killers were released. How do we balance the price paid with the joy of having innocent Americans returned home?
That's what's always tough about these deals, especially whenever you see the looks of joy on the faces of the families as they get their loved one home. And listen, the Israelis are dealing with this right now, right? They are faced with incredibly tough negotiations with Hamas in order to get the remaining Israelis home. So while it's never easy, I would say that the hostage negotiators, Trey, are only as good as the president or the vice president who are backing them up. So the Russians know exactly what they can get away with. They've made a pattern of taking Americans in order to get some of the worst criminals, worst thugs, worst spies back in the United States. So unfortunately, whether it's Brittany Griner or Paul Whelan or even Evan Gershkovich from the Wall Street Journal, I think we have created incentivizing behavior with the Russians. And the next time that they want to get more high-valued Russians out, they'll just be able to, Trey, unfortunately, take another American because they know the cost for us.
And I think other countries are watching too. I remember an American college student held by North Korea. He came home, but on the verge of death, and he died shortly thereafter. So I think folks are wondering, how do you negotiate with countries that literally kill college students for taking hotel signs? And should there be a travel ban? As much as I hate to talk about bans in a free country, should there be a travel ban on going to those countries? Because the price you have to pay to get those people back is pretty steep.
Yeah, we do have like level 5 travel warnings for many of these countries. I mean, I've been writing for several years cautioning American businessmen and women, for example, from going to China because China is also indiscriminately detaining people. And unfortunately, listen, in the case of Evan Gershkovich, for example, you've got a Wall Street Journal reporter going out and getting on the front lines to report about what's happening in Russia, especially with the Russia-Ukraine war. So you want journalists to be able to be in harm's way and to tell the tough stories. But I would say when you peel back, when you talk to Robert O'Brien, as you said, or Secretary Pompeo about what it was like for them to go in the room and negotiate, they had the heft and the power of the United States. They had President Trump behind them, and dictators and despots knew what that meant.
What I think back to, my wife and I visited Israel before war broke out in the Middle East. There was an Israeli soldier who was taken once, and Israel traded over 1,000 prisoners for a single Israeli soldier. And the Israelis I talked to about it were not critical at all. Their consensus was, that's about right. One of our soldiers is worth 1,000 of your folks. I don't know that that would fly here politically, one for 1,000.
No, I don't think that would fly here politically, but I would say there is another way, right? This isn't our only option. Again, we're happy whenever Americans do get home, always. I mean, you rejoice with those families, but we have to ask ourselves, are we negotiating? Listen, this is the same team who's been negotiating the JCPOA in the Obama administration. This is the same team that have been negotiating since October 7th, it's now August 4th, to get the 5 Americans home that are still left behind. And so when you look at the record of this team's ability to negotiate around the world, again, I don't think it is a deal. Is it the best possible deal? I'm in business, right? You could always get to a deal in business, but is the best deal? Is it the strongest deal? Is it the best deal for the American people? And does it continue ultimately to incentivize this behavior by Russia, by Iran, by China, whomever it may be? I think, unfortunately, it does.
Yeah, well, Jake Sullivan is not confidence inspiring. I can tell you that from my time in Congress. Morgan Ortagus, thank you for joining us on a Sunday night.
Thanks, Trey.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.